straight away. Recording now.
Amen.
Good, good, good. So, yeah,
Amen.
welcome everybody to our media investment update. Can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes, sir.
All right, great,
Yes, sir.
great, great. So, you're welcome to this update, and this is the agenda for today. We've had the opening prayer. We go straight to the welcome address. We look at our journey thus far from when we started to where we are. Then we go to our members updates. We run through several of our projects, and then we'll show the new initiatives that we have. We share some of the available opportunities, do a little bit of house cleaning. If there are questions, we'll take them, and then we'll go from there. So but to start, I wanted to remind us, particularly for those that are joining us also, I know I gave the invite to members of the investing community and members of the learning community. And then some realtors may also join in. So if you're here from the learning community and investing community, you've not been part of what we're doing. These are award for the year. We're a faith-based community, and God said this year we will enlarge the place of our tent. It's our layer of supernatural expansion and enlargement. And the beautiful thing about following God's word is that at the end, life is lived forward, understood backward. But because we have access to the divine, we're able to follow through. Last year, okay. Last year, God had said that it was a year of the double honors, double doors. And last year was the year that we did our portfolio and really discovered that literally we are doubled. So what God said is we're expanding this year, and this year we're experiencing expansion in 5 levels: spiritual, numerical, financial, geographical, and political. And they're explained there. There's a YouTube, I think, 3 or 5 minutes video that I did to launch to speak about that. So if you've not seen that, please go ahead and do that. Straight to our welcome address. Hello from the worldly place. Those who are joining from different other groups, yeah. That's how we greet ourselves. So when I say hello from the worldly place, you respond with a hi from the worldly place. Now we have experienced amazing growth this year. We're in a new phase. Prior to now, we're in the first phase. At that point, we were more private than public. At that point, we didn't talk about some of the things that we did more freely. But we're in a new phase. We've done the first 5 years of our savings together. Members of our community, some of them here, have started together since 2020, saving together every month, no withdrawals. But now we're in a new phase post that. We've now started what we call the 7 years, which we call the generations plan. We have grown deep roots, and it's time to build now. All our existing projects have amazing outlook, and there are new layers that have been launched or will be launched that we're sharing with us today. And some of those layers and those activities are coming up after several behind the scene efforts. Now, what I started as a dream, what I started as an instruction, is now a fledgling community. We now have opportunity to go around and to talk about the Kabzeel dream, what we're doing essentially. And for those that may not know clearly what the particular assignment for me is to lift people out of poverty through sustainable innovations. I can't go into that today. I have specifics for that in terms of numbers, in terms of duration, but we'll talk about that some other time. So we're building a wealth institution that will outlast us. I remember I tell my boys, I have two of them, that my own responsibility is not just for them, but it's for their children. Scripture says a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. My responsibility to them is to teach them, show them the way to go so that they can continue that and show that to their children's children. Yeah. So we're Kabzeel, we're a Kingdom Community World Center. The way we like to say that is that we're a kingdom because we're about the king. We're a community because we're made up of friends and family, and friends and family of friends and family. We're about wealth because wealth is all encompassing, and we're a center because we're about legacy. Indeed, we have grown deep roots, and now our shoots are coming out. Welcome to Update Session 2025. Taking it further, looking at our journey the last 5 years, This is the sixth year, yeah. We started in January 2020. And the interesting thing, I actually operate a principal seven, that's Joseph. So we had done 2 years before this. So we started in 2017. We did 2017, 2018, up until around 2019. We started late 2017, up until around 2019. We did a 2 year journey, then we did that post that, and then we started the 5 year journey that we talked about here. So in March of 2020, our cooperative started. We had the first AGM, and then March 2020, that was when COVID came into the country. And I went to God to ask what, as a group, our response should be to the COVID-19 virus. And the answer you see right there is grow your own food. And it is so, I'm amazed how that from forwards, God has not just changed our trajectory, He has taken us onward and upward. All right. Then in June, we had our first investment that matured 2 years after. That's one of our sweetest thus far in USD, because at the time we were doing the investment, USD was around 435. At the time we're receiving that inflow, it was 700 and something. And we got good returns over that. I think members got 16 or 18% now, I forget. So we then started our FarmVest project. We had our farm visit. Then in 2022 was when everything began to change, where we began to see our generational plan, how we wanted to do ABC. A starts for agriculture, B starts for business, C stands for Cityverse, where we want to do construction, real estate, and all of that together. And that's where we started our project, Palm and Trees. We launched the idea without even having the land, because we knew that in the seed of that word, the land will come. So we started a seedlings up. And I want to encourage anyone here, follow God, follow whatever instruction He has given to you. When God says move, that's time to move. When God says jump, start the jump. In the middle of the jump, now you'll find out how high, because as you jump, it will carry you through. Yeah. So our seedlings up, we started planting oil palm seedlings a year before we got land. So by July of 2022, we had planted oil palm seedlings. So we gave them to a farmer, just keep this oil palm seedling. We didn't find land until April of 2023, and then we planted in May of 2023. So it was just amazing, because people thought, oh, it was a lot of things. How do you do this? We were able to plant in about 2, 3 weeks, because remember, May 2023 was when there was this change in governance and fuel subsidy, all of those very interesting things that happened. Then in August of 2023, we found land again, this time in Ekpe. I'll talk about some of those things. We also started our real estate, our prime investment. And then in 2024, we then moved to healthcare. That is Community Agriculture Revolution Empowerment Scheme, essentially where we want to work with local farmers in our farmland now that we have 54 acres. So, and in May of 2024, our investment in GBP also matured. That started 2 years earlier. And the sweet thing about that one, for those of us in Naira, we invested when Naira was 780, and then people invested for 2 years, and by the time they were getting the money back, Naira was 1,750, and they got profit on GBP at 14%. So interesting things have happened, just taking people through our journey, yeah? So 2024, we continued. We got our Ekpe land. We did our survey from 10 acres. It became 12 acres. And in November of 2024, remember, our word for 2024 was double. God said double honor, and it's from Isaiah. And literally, we found out that people that had started the journey, we had experienced the double. And in December, for those of us that were around, we went looking for, we had 50 acres land. We had fully planted from 2022, sorry, from 2023. And then we're looking for 100 acres, and let's expand. And then we found an opportunity for 1,000 acres. And that's part of the things that brought us to the fore, because we said at this point, let's gather people in to participate with us. And then we launched that December 30 at the pre-launch 2024. In January, we launched the second cooperative in Lagos. And then in March, we took the team to Palm 2. They climbed Ado Hawaii. And Palm 2 is very interesting because it's 15 kilometers. We're different from other real estate agents that will tell you 10 minutes to Kenaland, whereas you're in the middle of one bush, or tell you 10 minutes to the express. I will simply tell you this is the distance, and you see I have a few screenshots. We are 15 kilometers from the Iyake Lake. The Iyake Lake is the only naturally suspended lake in the world. There are two mountain lakes in the world. There's a second in the US. The second in the US is artificial, yeah? So, and here we are, planting has begun in Palm 2 Farm City early this month, and new initiatives loading this month. So welcome. Let's go straight to. I like to show pictures. I'm only showing 2025 pictures. I'm not even showing everything. I'm only showing AGM pictures. Um, by the time I remember I wanted to hard for our boot camp, that was late. I love to show pictures of our children because some of the children you see with me on the left, we have their pictures every AGM from the time they were in diapers. But these are pictures from the AGM in January this year. Very interesting. The team that won the land, they should come and see their land though. We're going to the land again soon. And that's them on the left. Okay. Now let's come straight to our members update. All right. And the first thing is that 2025 is going great. Our roots are strong. Our shoots are coming up very well. Our investment now include all of the above. We have savings in NGN, USD, GBP. We have stocks. We have commodities. We have US based real estate investment. That's what we want to do with Club 100. And then we have several farm projects. We have the residential real estate in Ekwe. Now, right now, when we started with 4 acres. From 4 acres in 2021, we currently manage over 240 acres of real estate spread across 4 states. The picture there is of that this was taken last weekend, Saturday, this past Saturday. With one of our investors from the UK. He just came in, if finally he's back in the UK. He just came in and said he had a 9-day window. He had invested in Palm 2. He wanted to come and see it. And we're going to be sharing his own video testimonial from seeing that place himself. That's Mr. Elegbede himself. So I'm going to be talking about Club 100. Club 100 is our real estate investment plan in the US. Now, if you have plans to either relocate, plans to send your children abroad, plans to edge in USD, it's better to earn in USD. And what we want to do is 100 people come together. That's the idea behind Club 100. Come together to invest in a project. So we're going to do that every year for 3 years. Some people have started saving $100 every month for 10 months. So we're going to open this opportunity for November to give the people that have started every month for 10 months. By November, we're going to look for the first property. The idea is real estate properties in the US. The one that we've executed, it costs around 60,000. You buy up the property at auction, you spend between 10, 20, fixing it up, depending on the kind of properties. We have partners that we work with. There are agencies, there are a lot of things that then go into making it up around 85, 90K ish. And then we have a little reserve that we usually about 5% because different things can break down and then you don't want to be saying stories and all of that. So usually then that brings in an average of 8-10% every year. But the beauty behind it is if you're able to wait 3-5 years, that property that you bought at 60 to 80K can become 120, 150, and that captures real value. So we're having the global launch for that in November. We're looking at Dubai. We have options in Dubai. We have options in Kenya and Rwanda. We also have options in the US. The UK is very interesting at the moment, but it's a place we're also looking at. But GBP is slightly higher than pound and than the USD. Now, for Club 100, we're also creating the local one for the local economy. And let me explain. We started the CEDA 10 projects for OTA. Now we're evolving that. In addition to that, we're evolving to now buy up smaller properties within OTA, one plot, half plot. We have our principles, guiding principles within OTA, Lagos, places local. And the land, from the moment we buy it, the project is for sale. We will crowdfund 100 people, putting between 500K, 1 million, depending on the type of project. If it's a multi-level project, probably 100 million. If it's just maybe a bungalow, probably 50 million. Whatever the project is, we'll total everything, build everything, and then make it available as shortlets. So we do this every year for the next 2-3 years. So think about it. In 3 to 5 years, we begin to manage different shortlet properties in and around this place. The ARC project is scheduled to be launched. It was supposed to be launched for November 29. That has been slightly adjusted. We don't know the new date, but we know that for OTA, it's time to build. The landscape is changing. 2 bridges are going on simultaneously. People are going to want to come here at every time. Every Sunday, we know there's a market for it. So that's an opportunity. And like I said, the project will always be for us. And because we're different, this is Danic. Because we're different, every of our projects will have the permaculture farm banking thing, a little bit of edible garden here from the start to be for sale. So maybe we've spent 25 million in that project. It's for sale. People come and they buy it. We then turn it over and then go and start another one. The ones that we don't want to sell, we'll agree if we don't want to sell. But that's a new project. So we're going to start with lands. We'll own the lands and then make the opportunities available for people. I've spent a number of time here. Let me move straight to project Palm and Trees. Project Palm and Trees is our Ilaro flagship project. It's 54 acres. It is doing very well. This we want to now use this as a pilot for Palm 2 to let people see we have done this in 50 acres. This is what we're going to do with 1,000 acres. So we have planted, excuse me, like I said, since 2023. So for those of us, what we'll be launching the Kabzeel Kids plan in full in 2026 at our AGM. But if you are in and around me, there are things we're doing for our children right now, and I'll mention one. One of the things we're doing for our children is buying land in their own names, so that by the time these children are teenagers in the next 7 years, they are landlords. They don't have to. The fact that I had Eba a lot growing up does not mean my child must eat eba. I mean, tapioca, you can eat Gary flakes, you can have different things, but we can actually create a system for them. And beyond just giving them stuffs, we can also teach them. That's why every AGM, I ensure that I take time with them. So for this August, we're planning a side visit to Ilaro. The main attraction, with the main people we want are our children. But we know that because we will need you parents. So we may consider parents to come along with them. But for Ilaro, we want them to plant to see how nature grows, to understand the business model. Because the real people who are doing it for is not for you and I. If you're already close to 40, close to 50, it's really not about us. It's about them and their children. Yeah. So I started taking my own children to the farm. And already telling them these are the things that you need to do. They don't need to be farmers. They don't need to be farmers. They just need to understand money. I need to understand how operational things work. So August is available. We'll announce the date. This is also Ilaro. I loved this picture because they just harvested cassava. So you can see the areas around it and they cleared it. So they plant cassava here again. So let's quickly take the picture so people can see. You can see the straight line of palm. There are 2 years. We just fertilized this May. So we'll fertilize again in September. In 2 years, we'd expect. In fact, there's a particular one they say is already fruiting, and I'm like, how? But the first fruit is still going to be left. Either ways, from by 2027, 2028, this project is scheduled to begin to pay us as a group in multi-millions. Yeah. This is still Ilaro. Ilaro. So if you're a member of the cooperative, you've not invested in this project. These projects, the only thing we are doing right now is maintenance. Anything that we are looking for. Aside maintenance and anything we're looking for, there is really nothing else that this project really has. So it is us that is now saying, okay, let's come and do pond here. Let's come and do here. We have fixed staff here. So if you're a member of the cooperative, you've been with us for 2, 3 years and you've not invested in this project. And this project, the beauty about it is that the beautiful thing about it, thank God my wife is not here, she's not on the call. She'll be laughing at me right now. The beautiful thing about it is that it's only 100 shares you can have maximally. Yeah, so it's all right. And then Project Protein. Because of the update here, I sent a message to everybody who had Project Protein. Project Protein is simply, I don't want just to have a farm. I want to eat all this. So we had a partner farm, Fresh and Fair, and they are growing sheep, organic, all organic. They don't use GMO, they don't use artificial stuff. They're growing sheep, pigs, goats, chicken. Now, chicken is layers and broilers. So people that invested. We decided to test it in November. It will take a year for the first for us to release the first cycle. But the project is going well. These are some of the end products that are available in not pharmacies, supermarkets, yeah. So, but we have a special gift for a very few people. So our layers that we started in and around earlier in the year, around February, they've started to produce eggs, but we're only going to be able to, you just have to say you are here. We're only going to be able to share out, I think, 10 packs of 12. We have a number of you, so it might not go round though. If it doesn't go round now, and remember, we promised that we're going to give investment return at the end of 1 year. We've not even done 4 or 5 months. But because the eggs are laying, I said, guy, bring it. So it's coming tomorrow. We're getting 10 packs. I mean, we will begin to eat healthy. I mean, that's farm allowance. So for those that are abroad that invested for their people, you would have to provide transport, but it can be for this minute one when we have dehydrated goods and all of those things we can easily send to your people. Now let's come to Oak. Sorry, I'm getting a notification that my internet connection is unstable. Can you still hear me, please? Hello.
We can
Yes.
now hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Did it break off for a while?
A short while.
Okay, I like the short part of it. All right. So maybe there's some things you were not supposed to hear about the eggs part. All right. Now to Oak 61 Permaculture Estate. This is our first farm banking project in Ekpe. We've taken possession, we've done our survey, we've done part of our fencing. The front part of our fencing just focuses just a short part because it's very expensive. We only have about 10 plots that we want to sell. There are interesting things happening in Ekpe. So if you want to join those of us that have bought, we have about 10 plots left. That we have, not that there are 10 plots left, we have 10 plots reserved. Now we are positioning because the Lagos state government is also positioning. Now, what has happened in Ekpe is that anybody that wants to register a survey right now in and around Ekpe cannot get that survey, cannot get your allocation letter out, cannot get the existing surveyor's call it, I forget it right now. Because the government has placed a lien on Ekpe, because Lagos is rapidly developing and moving into Ekpe regions. So the Lagos state government wants to change allocations. They want to do different dramas, reserve this, reserve that, either for themselves or for not. Well, they want to do that. So we are also positioning. We have gotten a portion of land, and we know that that is happening. We have told the family. We're now negotiating with the family for additional land because the place we have found, and also because I'm an architect. If you just go drive to the location where we are, you wouldn't notice any difference. But because I'm an architect, I checked it on the map and realized that we're 2 kilometers from the Lagos Lagoon. Now, we now started negotiating that we don't want land in the front again. We want to buy additional land at the back. So we have reached a price, paid for the first installment of land at the back. So if that takes us 2 3 years, we're not big on marketing that right now. We know that once the government lifts its land, regardless of whatever allocation they do, they will request whatever payment they need to request. We may need to pay. We don't know the areas that they're going to take. Nobody knows really. They're just going to simply say, I reserve this for this, I reserve that for this. Our land is currently not under any of their said reservations, but they are changing that right now. So if you're familiar with Ekwe, that's what's happening. But we're positioning because, that's the opportunity that is there. So see what I'm saying. If you can see my screen, this is the first part. This one that looks like a gun is the first part. The one we're negotiating for, that we have negotiated for, is here. That takes it straight back to the lagoon, and it then takes it from 12 acres to about 32 acres. So they've agreed. They want to sell. I'm not sure they're so familiar with everything that the Lagos State government is doing, but what we expect that in a few years, this whole place will become like a new Lekki, because they created the New Towns Development Authority. Don't let me go into that, but this place has amazing potential, and I wanted to show us this. If you can see my cursor, I'm not sure you can, but if you can, I'm right at our phase 1 and 2. Phase 1 is on top, phase 2 is here. This is the Lagos Lagoon right behind it. The Lagos Lagoon at this point is currently almost, I measured with the team yesterday again, is about 1.9 kilometers. It is wide. It's going to become a lagoon property, and knowing me, that's going to be like a resort for us. And let me now take you all the way to the right here. This right here, about 15 kilometers from us. Like I said, I don't tell you 10 minutes, I don't tell you 2 minutes. I simply measure. How do I measure? This our entrance here to this place. This yellow line is 4 kilometers from the express. So I know our land is 4 kilometers from the express. And the reason I'm not so bothered is because the government has a tendency to take 1 to 2 kilometers wide, and they take it that way. We're not bothered. But here to 15, and right beside us, there's a general hospital. So we're already at a place that they've taken before. But Lagos, the government can do anything. That's regardless of whether you have a CFO or not. They can come and say override.
Yeah,
Sorry. But this is a semi Lagos right beside us, and land in the semi Lagos right now is, I think, 500K per square meter because of the investment I've already put there. I'm simply saying this place has amazing potential. We're only selling 10 left. We want to keep the remaining. And the reason we want to keep the remaining is that after they do all their location, and they now come and say, okay, this is what is happening now. Land prices in that place will have skyrocketed crazily between 10x to 15, whatever it is. So that's an opportunity. This is where we were foot on the ground. From this portion, you can never tell that there's lagoon 2 kilometers to the back. So, but it's sweet. And now let's come straight to Palm 2 Farm City. Palm 2 Farm City is going on sweet. The vision is alive. In 7 months, we have secured the first 400 acres. 1,000 acres is available for us. We have requested for it. They've said no problem. They have shown us the boundary of the first 400 acres for us to use. We have paid for the first 875. We have planted 100 on the 100 acres. We have full-time staff, 2 full-time staff, 2 contract staff. We have workers there. You know why this is very interesting? Because it took us years and years and years to save and gather when we wanted to do the first 50 acres. But right now, we're scaling faster and we're now able to do this. So we're now going to launch a marketing push so that we can push and then sell more. For investors, for everybody that has invested, we have their land already has their oil palm is already just waiting. This is a picture we took again on Saturday. The 2 guys on the left looking like short form of Superman. Our workers, full-time workers, they came from our Ilaro project. We send them down there. So we're also announcing that we're having the next site visit in July. This time around, I'm hopeful that we can take a coaster 30-seater bus. Out of that, the Kabzeel team alone is we're already over 10. Realtors, we might take 4 or 5. Then so we have a maximum of 10 spaces or less for members of the community. So if you're interested, let's go. And this time around, I may start the climb of the mountain journey, the mountain lake, but I can guarantee that I am not sure that I'm ready for the full mountain journey. So this is Palm 2 once again. Palm 2 gives the feeling as far as your eyes can see, because from this you can't even tell where the boundaries are. We have within Palm 2 already. There are lots of neem trees. You know, we wanted to clear the front to let people see, I see what's happening here. But in the front area, I've done a video on this. There are neem trees, there are teak, there's melina. In and around, there is lime. We counted at least over 100 lime trees. There is cashew trees, like 5 acres of cashew trees. There is banana, there is baobab trees. Baobab are like 2 to 3 meters in circumference, as in it takes 4 or 5 people to hold each other's hands to hold them. I mean, so amazing stuff's already happening here right by the express road. And this is our project. All right. So Palm 2 is so beautiful. Look forward to taking people there July 19th. Now, drum rolls, please. New initiatives. One of the first one. For every new initiative, we've spent weeks praying, planning, preparing, meeting, testing, and all of that. But the first one we're talking about is Cash Pillar. Now, today, the 26th of June, we launched our micro-lending scheme. Scripture says you shall lend to nations and borrow from none. As a cooperative, especially the cooperative in Lagos, they want to see loans happening. So we say, all right, it's time to have micro-lending scheme, and that's Cash Pillar. We have a team on the ground that will run and execute. We met with some of our markets we met today. We've gotten a new office for that project right beside Sterling Bank along the expressway. So that project will have unveiled with it. Essentially, we're developing it like a hub that can onboard a lot of people, something quite similar to Piggyvest. But we're taking that in leaps and bounds. For we launched this today. It's Cash Pillar, and I'm actually still wearing the clothes I wore for the launch. I'm not sure you can see the logo right here. We'll talk. You'll see more about this happening. So this was taking. I remember I left here to rush down. This was taking maybe around 5, just before I started coming. So it's an initiative, excuse me, for market women, where they save, they join the cooperative, they save, they get micro loans from 20K, 40K, they pay that back, they have daily repayment scheme. And then also, we are also then starting our own commodity trading. We have access to my oil palm mentor. He has graciously agreed to supply us palm oil, and we don't even need to market. This market women, once they join our cooperative, they will bring money for one drum. We give them 2 drums. The second drum is a loan, and then they pay that back. So right now we can literally sell almost anything. So we have the office. They have a team working on that. So that's part of um, this. This was unveiled today. Part of the ecosystem. The second one, drum roll, please, is the Outbox program. Now we've been doing. Sorry, I didn't get to put pictures of the KFB that we had in Ibogun today. That's the Kingdom Finance Boot Camp. We've been doing Kingdom Finance Boot Camp. We're having the one for LASU later next month. So we've been taking like trainings on faith, mentoring, on wealth creation, what to do after school, leadership, finance, and all of those things. But I noticed that a lot of them after school, everybody knows once you graduate from school, you go and do NYC. After NYC, you go and look for a job. There's no so much clarity between the industry, market, and all of that, what you're supposed to be doing. So we have come up with our training scheme, which branched off our design agency essentially to train people on soft skills, train people on tech-related skills, computer-related skills. When I say that, I mean UI, UX, design, branding. There's a list of courses that they will take, and then I will take special sessions on faith, leadership, and enterprise development. We're focusing on young graduates and people post NYSC. So we have a team that will work solely on this. It will also have its learning management software. They are building the app currently. We have several things. That's just the logo there. So the launch for that is around August, September, once we have gone to LASU and what's the other school in and around LASU? Is it LASUED? Yeah. So we're having that one next. So this is the next that is coming up soon. So if you're here, you want to learn video editing, video animation, AI, UI, UX, web design, that a whole lot. So we've gotten some members of our team, and then we're also partnering with some agencies. Neon is one of our partners to execute and then train these people. So they will train them, and then they will mentor them for 3 months, and then we'll connect some of them to job opportunities. Some of them will be retained if we feel that they're good enough. Some of them will just be connected and they'll be mentored through that process. All right. So let me begin to, wow, time has gone. So now to investment opportunities. Not so much. You're already aware of most of the things that we have. We're doing commissions bazaar for people. So because we want to do a marketing push between now and the end of July, we're launching for cooperative members. It used to be 5% commissions. We're bringing back 10% commissions. So if you sell every item you sell, you get your 10% commission. And we're now doing a pricing promotion for members of the cooperative. This one is members of the cooperative. You want to buy one plot right now, between today as I announce it and the end of July, there will be 15% off for members of the cooperative only. Realtors, this one is not for you. I'll go back to Realtors home. Then if you're doing an acre, you get 11% off. You do that at 4 million. All right, for members of the cooperative only. So if you've not plugged in and you were wondering when should you, could you, would you, and the same terms and conditions are aligned, you can spread it over 6 weeks. You can spread it over, 6 months rather, not 6 weeks. So now for our realtors, they were asking us on the group, and people thought I was joking, and I had to tell them I don't joke. Oh. If we say it, we mean it. So for realtors, every person who sells a plot, the commission now is 10%. You get your voucher, but the gift items are the things you get first. You sell 1 acre, you get rice and oil. But let's get it interesting. You sell 10 acres and you get a solar setup worth 2 million. Now, the challenge is there. You sell a car, you sell 100 acres, and you get a car worth 50 million plus 20 million in commissions. Well, that's serious about it. So somebody's joined on my screen. What's that I'm saying? Somebody's joined on my screen. So Realtors, the game is on. Community members can do it. Our own team, we're also doing it. I can share the secret because we are out to get the same thing. What we're going to do, we're creating a proposal and we're going to cooperatives, police cooperative, other cooperatives, and we're going there. I mean, no competition. If you get there before us and we still come, it's towards the same game. So because my own team, our own personal team, we have a target of 100 acres. Yeah. Um, and then we'll speak to them and do marketing, not just how to sell to them. Now, another thing we want to do for people is you connect us to a cooperative, to church, to any other person that you know is legit. We are legit too. We can take people there. They can see the land for themselves. Yeah. They can see that the palm has been planted. We have taken possession. There is no gimmicks. The land has sea of wood. There's nothing there. You just need the challenge for most people is that you need to wait. I cannot tell you that you bring money now, you get it tomorrow. We don't do Sogun. How was that in Yoruba? Sogun Degoji, turn 20 to 100. Like Eric Egua said, we don't do that here. All right. But if people understand it and they're able to partner, I mean, Mr. Legbede came from the UK. He has 10 acres actually. So, and when he saw it, he was quite impressed. You see his video. He talked about it. In fact, he was inviting people to come. He was doing his own personal video on the farm. I mean, it's fun. The only challenge we had that day was Ijalo. Ijalo is soldier hands. They almost showed us where. This video will go around, so let me compose and build myself. But you know what Ijalo can do, soldier hands. So this buzzer is on from today. If you're able to do that, you can achieve it. Now for cash pillar, we have been able to. I don't know. I don't think I mentioned that. Our cash pillar. Let me just run back to that. We have secured 10 million seed funding for this project. This particular project will scale into a microfinance bank. It will scale into an app operations. The reason I like saying things like this, especially when it's recorded, is so that when it happens, I can say we said it. You know, I've talked about our oil palm operation scaling. We will scale that into an asset management. Before all of this, I didn't used to say it publicly. I just said it in my close circle, in my close circle. But now that you hear it publicly, because it is time to build, it's time to launch, it's time for us to take that out. So we have secured a 10 million seed funding for this project. It's already available. This project has launched. We are not yet opening investments for this, but by the end of the year and towards AGM next year, we will then open investment for this where people, members of the cooperative can provide funding. We sell that around or we trade that with market women. They provide an interest and we get that. We're also doing palm oil storing and trading. I've talked about that. We will start trading in Indomie. We'll start trading in. We have gotten a space. We'll get a warehouse. And we don't need to bother and go and look for people that will sell. Our market women are the ones selling. And we discussed all of that with them. The way they were nodding. And so the risk involved, all of that involved, let us run in between now and 6 months. We have prepared for it. We've been at this since March or April, thereabouts. So we've been having meetings back to back, sometimes weekly. And at this point, I want to take a minute to really, really appreciate Kalite Tosin Olarinre. He has joined us. He volunteered to be part of the team to ideate for some of this project, and he has joined us. He take time off work, sit with us. Oh, how is this ready? How is that ready? He puts fire in the bum of some of our team members. It was very nice, yeah. So, Kalite Tosin Olarinre, very grateful. He's still on that team on that project with us. So that simply means if you want to volunteer for any of our projects and you want to just see how we co-create. I mean, we're cooperative. Come in. There's nothing hidden. We'll talk about the numbers easily. I think I even put it somewhere there. At this point, I'm smiling too much. Let me be serious. But I hope somebody can win the car. The challenge is that if I win the car, I won't buy the car. So let somebody win the car so that we can say we bought it. So volunteers are welcome. Yes, I put it for Outbox program. So you want to volunteer your skill, your time, and all of this, and you can even grow into leading the team. Funnily, for Cash Pillar, I'm not the face behind it. I'm not the one leading it. For Outbox, I'm not the face behind it. Hey, how do I get somebody to stop all of this? Somebody is really, somebody is, oh, wait, so did I just do it? Sorry, you guys, I don't know what's happening here. Erase all something. It's not erasing now. Sorry, who knows how to erase all inks on side? Somebody's doing this, and I'm supposed to be the admin. I won't distract myself with this right now. Okay. So Where am I? Somebody's distracting me with this. Okay. So the opportunities are here. I think we're moving to housekeeping now so that I can pause. For those that have just joined us, our payday is between 1 to 10th. Now, for realtors, please, if you're telling somebody to buy land, 6 month payment period, a monthly payment is required so that it's easier for them to plan. If they now say they don't want to do a monthly payment, let them come up with a structure that we can see and follow. It helps for planning. Our grace period is 11th to 15th. Then we have a withdrawal period. People that want to withdraw, we've been getting withdrawal requests at any time T. The withdrawal period has been in effect since 2022. Then we have our investment window, and I think with that, ladies and gentlemen, members of Kabzeel, thank you so much for listening to me thus far. I'm now here for comments, questions, observations, corrections, reactions, additions, no subtractions, only multiplications, no divisions. Thank you. Now, this is the part where nobody says anything. Who is drawing this?
Mrs. Borin Daniels is the one drawing.
Do we have any comments, queries? Looks like we have a family matter to go and discuss right after this. This is cooperative meeting. Please, Mrs. Babe, do you have any question?
I dropped a question on the chat.
That's the man himself. Please, let's celebrate him. Celebrate him. Did they send you the pictures? Network is breaking up.
Hello?
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yeah, I was saying I dropped a question on the chat.
All right, okay. I'll check that now. Network seems to be breaking up. I hope it was just that time and not. Those are our children. Yeah. Okay, what's the risk for individual investing in Oak 61 if the government could claim? The truth is, the government can wake up and claim any land. There was an article that came out, I think it was sometimes this month, maybe last week or upper week, where it said that people no longer rush for C of O as before. It is investors that do not know more about land ownership. Particularly if you have freehold land, I encourage people not to do C of O for them. Because the moment you take your freehold land and you register that and you title it, it becomes a leasehold, 99 years. Freehold, the advantage with leasehold, that C of O, is that you can take it to a government and say, oh, I have this C of O, this is the time. You can take it to the bank rather and get all of that. Now, the challenge with what is happening in Ekwe is that nobody knows which areas will be taken, which areas will not. Our own areas fall under the place that they have allocated for previous agricultural use. So people are saying they are going to change it, not take it. So what people do, estates do in and around our area. Now, this is, I wouldn't lie, I wouldn't hide anything. This is what estates do is that they call it agric estates. But we never needed to do that because ours is a permaculture estate. We're going to have farm within it and we're going to live within it. So we had scaled all of that from the start. Where people have issues is where they go and buy land that from the zoning, it was zoned to be fire service. In fact, the area there we are in, close to the government, close to the express, I said we're 4 kilometers from the express, close to the express, there are estates there. A lot of them, military came in because there's a military zone. We saw it. There is a second mainland acquisition. There is a general hospital. We saw all of that in our own search because we ran the search about 3 times. And saw that, okay, this area, this is what it is for. But the Lagos State government now came and said, no, they don't want slums to happen. It's just that I'm recording. But okay, I'm not in government. What usually happens is that they will take some for themselves. They will take some and give to people. In fact, our survey guy said we should go and look for a few millions now and bribe them in advance. It is at that point I said no, so that they can mark up our own area for us. That is what others are doing. I said no. So the risk is, even if they now come and say, what they will not likely do is say that this one is full acquisition. Even if they do come and say, this place, we're acquiring this place for maybe this particular use, and they've seen that estates are already there, they require that they pay ratification, which is why we are only selling 10 plots. So ratification then makes the price of land scale crazy. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So the Lagos state government will not likely, but we cannot say for a fact, will not likely say, oh, all these lands, nobody can buy there, because there are a lot of estates in and around that place. And it is not that it has a false document or title or anything. We've done our survey. We've lodged it with the government, so they are aware. But Nigerian factor, they can come and say, okay, you need to now pay ratification. At that point, prices that we're currently selling at 3 million can go as high as 15 million, because they will simply ratify it and give you CFO. There's a property that we bought in Otta. They call areas in and around Otta. So there are a lot of properties that people have bought that they don't know. They call them LUD, Land Use Decree. What's Land Use Decree? 1968. So they call it LUD Decree 1. And we facilitated it for a client. We bought it. We have paid ratification to the state government, and we have gotten C of O. So at that point, there's nothing. So it is a way for them to make money most times. That's what happens with it. They have asked us to come and bribe the officials there so that we will partner with other real estate agencies. We say we're not doing. Rather than do that, we will simply play the people that own the land right now. We will pay them. We will get access to that. By the time they realize it's Lagoon property, Lagos State will come. Either way, we are still going to pay the Lagos State government for C of O and all of that. We just know that that's the major payment that we're looking ahead. I don't know if that helps essentially.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Are there any questions? Club 100. Club 100 is open at the moment. We are only going to start pulling into 1,000. So some people have been paying 100, 100, 100. However, by November, if you're just coming in November, you must have your 1,000 ready. Some people have been scaling that up in bits. Yeah. So it's open at the moment, but the opportunity will start in November. That means we're going to actively start seeking. If we start actively seeking for, remember Money Stewards that came in, she has opportunities for us. She wanted us to buy a 2-bedroom in Dubai. At that point, I think it was 120K USD. And we're going to buy it off plan, wait for 3 years, and then it had potential because it was within the mixed use tourism zone. There are opportunities. So we're not seeking for actively. If we start seeking for, we'll get in a week. But it's open right now. But by November, we'll gather everything that we have, because usually once you're about to start, you need to drop at least 40 to 50K USD to start. So, and then we'll pay the rest over maybe 6 months. Yeah. So, any other questions for me? Any questions? Any comments?
That question in the chat, sir.
Okay, for the 10 months journey, it depends on you. You can start now, you can start in January. So whenever your 10 months is complete, you can wait for the next cycle to open. So when we do November, we might do June, we might do November, like that. But we're doing every year for 3 years. Yeah. So you can start now actually. So there are people that pay their own. All right. Any question?
Okay, I have a question. Yes, I do.
Please shoot.
Good evening. Thank you, CIO, for this very intensive breakdown for the journey so far. I particularly like the way you're able to capture everything we've done. It makes it simple. Trust me, I know it's not that simple, but the way you highlighted is very beautifully crafted, and then it summarized, everything. For someone like me that I've been around for a while, so I can say, oh, true, yeah, that kind of thing. So that's just by the way. Now, my question, I'm just curious, as touching outbox, I just wanted to ask. I understand that probably are still in the ideation phase, and there's so many. I just want to know if what's the eligibility criteria? How do you reach out to those that are interested? What's the publicity going to be like? I don't know. Is it just within Kabzeel community, or you're going outside Kabzeel community? And is it affiliated to any institution? Are there certification at the end of the course? Just to know what the prospect is. I mean, from where we are now. Just curious. Anyway, that's my question.
Thank you, Dr. Oluwambepelumi. Oluwambepelumi, no, Oluwambepelumi. Thank you, Doctor. Very beautiful question, and thank you for your comments. So our learning community, we have 500 people. We've had people who have said, I want to be mentored here. We have mentored people on and off for scatteredly. Oh, I want to mentor with these. People reach out at this point. I want to know about this. I want to know about that. We have sponsored people on training. So, but this is the first time that we're saying, okay, let's put this together in a house. Let's get tutors and facilitators. So, but our comment, anybody that wants to get these benefits, because it's not paid, it is paid for. We're paying some of our facilitators because they are going to be teaching their trade secrets here. It is paid for, but it's not paid by them. Before people, and per course, I think our quote one is just going to be 25. So for affiliations, I already mentioned one. We have affiliate. English is hard. Yoruba is harder sometimes. We have people that we're partnering with. We have courses that we're partnering with. Yes, there will be certificates, but we're not just interested in certificates alone. We're connecting them to market straight. So you graduate from the course, you graduate into an internship program where you now begin to work on real life jobs. So for instance, look at Kabzeel ecosystem alone. The number of projects that need development, that need constant trainings. Yeah. So there are real life projects that they will work on, from what I do with Kara, several things that they will work on. And then there are other partner agencies that people want to develop that, want to develop this, that they would get real life hands-on projects. And also, it would also now boost their own career path, essentially. Yeah. So to answer, it is mainly for members of the Kabzeel community as of now. But to join the Kabzeel learning community is free. So if people see it, they want to participate, they will join the Kabzeel learning community. There is a criteria for selection. We're not selecting people like you. I mean, you at your level. You're not the person we're looking. We're looking for fresh graduates, corpers, people who we can show, oh, this is what they did. And you're not transitioning, you're not in the middle of transitioning to tech now. So, but I know you're not asking for yourself, I'm just kidding, yeah? So those are the criteria. Is there another part of the question that I missed out? So, but they must be members of the community, essentially. Yeah, so. Thank you, I see that. Okay, any other questions for me? Let me check through the chat again. Okay, I think that's it. You want the car. I follow you to want it. Let's do the work. We already have the work that we want to do, because that's our own personal target. We're just sharing it for any other person that wants to take. Okay, in the absence of any other question, Pastor Deno, please. No other questions, right? Let me stop the recording now.